All sources in the description. Not all immigration is okay. By saying these words, I've already kicked the hornet's nest, but for those of whom who wish to hear me out, I thank you. Let me start by saying this. I am a U.S. citizen born and raised, but my family background is filled to the brim with stories of the needy and poor trying to earn a better life in the land of the free and home of the brave. Some more desperate than others. On my father's side, they were Cuban refugees fleeing the iron fist of communism. And then on my mother's side, they were Poles, Italians, Germans, Irishmen. Their stories largely unknown. All we do know is that they settled in the land of Ohio and Chicago, respectively. So trust me, I know my family once were immigrants and refugees too. I fully understand some people's point of view, even if I am U.S. born and raised. Second, I just want to toss out a few figures. Never before has Islamic terror been at such a threat to the West and its values since the days of 9/11. Never before has Europe faced rape and molestation on the scale since the rape of the Axis and partisan-controlled territory by the Russian army since World War II. Never before have the streets of San Francisco been covered in this much shit. Never before had the streets of Paris smelled so strongly of piss since the days before the toilet. All of these things happening, but why? Each can be drawn to at least, the very least, partly link to mass immigration, which leads me to the title of this video. Not all immigration is okay. I'm proud of my German heritage, but frankly, I'm embarrassed by the state of the fatherland as of late, or rather, the last few years. Not all cultures are the same. We all agree on this, so why can't we agree that not all cultures are good? At this point, I've angered some of you to the point of where you're disliking this video and reporting it, but let me ask you, don't you agree that slavery is bad? Is women's rights a good thing? Is freedom of speech important? If you agree with any of these, or all three of these, you agree with me on something, but not the people terrorizing the West in vast numbers. They do not agree with you on these things. They're here for one reason, to vote a certain way to keep the people who let them in stay in power, and frankly, I find that sickening, and so do many other people. How many bombings need to be carried out? How many rapes? How many children need to have their lives cut short to the people who dislike this video get it? Lastly, I don't hate immigrants, nor am I a racist. Allow me to prove it. With the arguments I've laid before you, I should like all white people and Hispanic immigrants and refugees, but I don't. And I should hate all people different than myself, but I don't. My argument is, why can't we let people in like we used to before what was his name? John F. Kennedy was led into office. You know, the cream of the crop. I mean, you drop an Asian or a Jew anywhere in the world and they will cause no harm and be successful. I like that. Don't you? Have you ever noticed nations like Japan, Israel, and the motherland of Poland are all the safest and best places to live? Why? Because of many factors, but one of which is a harsh but fair immigration system. I'm proud of my blood and my family history, but that does not mean I'm okay with people committing crimes on a massive scale. I don't hate any race of people. I just dislike my world being eaten by parasites from the inside.